Hello students, welcome to data processing class. Today we'll be treating computer software. I know one might be wondering why we are talking about software and data processing. So you know that in electronic data processing, you can't achieve any results without using software. So we must discuss software here. It's part of this subject. And we look at the definition of software. We look at types of software. From there, we'll now talk about other things. Now, what is a computer software? Computer software is a set of programs or a set of instructions that, when executed, tells the computer what to do. I said it's a set of instructions or set of programs that, when executed, tells the computer what to do. So we can say that a software is a set of instructions that controls the functions of the computer. Now, types of software. We have the two major types of software, and they are system software and application software. Now, what is a system software? System software is a set of programs or instructions that controls the hardware. A set of programs that controls the hardware. This set of programs determine how the hardware will function. They determine how the computer system generally will work. Now, under system software, examples of system software, we have the operating system. Operating system. And some people call it operating system software. Operating system is the major program that controls the hardware. It's a set of logical instructions that controls the hardware and also creates a platform for other application programs to run. The operating system also creates an interface between the computer system and the user. Now, the operating system can be categorized into command line and GUI operating system. The command line, command line operating system, and GUI operating system. Now, when we talk about command line operating system is a type of operating system that gives the user the opportunity to type in the syntax for every command he or she will want to carry out in the computer system using the keyboard. The moment the computer is ready for use, you just see the cursor on the screen blinking, waiting for the user to type in the command. Unlike the GUI, which stands for Graphical User Interface, is a type of operating system that gives the user the opportunity to work with the mouse and also with icons. The GUI operating system enables the user to control the computer using mouse and icons. You know the mouse. The mouse is an input device. It's a handheld input device that is used for pointing, selecting, and all that. Now, the icon, as I've said, icon is a picture on the screen of the computer system that represents either a program, that represents either a folder, or a file stored in the computer, which can serve as a shortcut to the file or to the program it represents. So you can say that an icon is a pictorial representation of a folder or a file stored in the computer system. Now, the disk operating system is an example of command line operating system, whereas Windows OS are examples of the GUI operating system. When I talk about Windows, I mean Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows XP, Windows NT, Windows 7, Windows 10, and so on and so forth. All the Windows operating systems fall under this GUI operating system. Now, there are features that GUI operating systems possess, and most times in WAEC or in NECO, I have seen these questions being asked by the exam bodies, asking students to mention 2 features or 3 features of GUIs. Sometimes they will even eliminate the operating system side and just ask you, mention 2 features of GUIs. One of the features is that GUIs or GUI operating systems, they provide the users with icons. Working with icons makes it fun to use the computer system. Another feature of the GUI is the presence of drop-down menus. When you click on an item, in some of the items, you discover that there are lists of options, the drop-down menu, where the user will have to select from. Another feature is the presence of dialog boxes. In GUI operating systems, you have dialog boxes where the user can make choice from a list of options. So these are some of the features of the GUI operating system. Now that is for the categories here. Now when we look at functions of operating system, there are so many functions of operating system, but we discuss a few. One of the functions of the operating system is resource management. What do I mean by resource management? You have the scanner, you have the printer, you have maybe the camera, especially in a network environment. The operating system enables the users there to use, even if it's one printer that is available there, it will know how to allocate time to each of the users to make use of the printer or the scanner. That is the job of the operating system. Now, security is also another, system security is another function of the operating system. When you go to a system that is passworded, there is no way the operating system will grant you access if you don't have the right characters that will form the password. The moment the password you entered is recognized by the operating system, access will be given. Else, access will be denied. So security is another function of the operating system. Error detection is another function of the operating system. Sometimes when there is an error in the system, maybe there is a failure in disk or any other part of the computer, the operating system will give you a message telling you that there is a problem in this part of the computer system. Another function of the operating system is input-output operation. The operating system controls the input and output operation of the computer system. The input of data and output of information is being controlled by the operating system. There are so many other functions. Now let's quickly look at types. When we talk about types here, we may classify operating systems under the number of users and the number of tasks the operating system can perform at a time. There are some operating systems that can allow one user at a time, that can also process a task at a time, and we call them single user, single tasking operating system. That means they can allow only one user to make use of the computer at a time and also process one task at a time. You also have the ones that can allow one user, but they can process more than one task at a time. That is single user and multitasking operating system. You also have the type of operating system that can allow more than one user at a time, that can also process more than one task at a time. And there you have the multi-user multitasking operating system. You also have another kind of operating system that can allow a task to run on more than one CPU concurrently. Most times I use this analogy to my students where in a banking system where you have one person, one cashier attending to customers, and you have a very long queue. In order to speed up the speed of transaction there, or the rate of transaction, you see that the bank can decide to bring in one or two more cashiers there, and you see the same task is being carried out by these two persons or three persons, making it faster. So the kind of operating system that processes data in this manner, making sure that a task is being handled by more than one processor, is called multiprocessing operating system. There is also another type of operating system that allows jobs to be submitted in batches, and they are being called batch operating system. You have the embedded operating systems that are embedded in some devices, especially in toys and all that. You have the real-time operating system. Okay, that's for the operating system. Let's look at another type of system software, which is the translators. Translators. It's either you call them translators or you call them language processors. Translators. And the translators are one, assembler. The next is interpreter. And another is compiler. These are called translators. And what is the job of this type of software? Translators are programs that translate programs written in other languages, in other programming languages, to machine-readable language. That means they convert programs written in high-level language, programs written in assembly language, to machine language. And you know that computer understands only machine language. All these things I'm talking here, computer doesn't understand them. What computer understands and work with are binary digits. That is zeros and ones. So the job of this software here, these programs, is to translate this kind of program to machine-readable form. The assembler assembles and translates assembly language into machine language. Interpreter interprets and converts high-level language into machine language. Compiler compiles high-level language into machine language. And now, one might be asking, then what is the difference between interpreter and compiler? The difference here is that the interpreter translates line by line, depending on how the syntax of the program is written. It translates line by line and executes them, whereas the compiler compiles the whole source program at a time and then allows execution to follow. What I mean by source program is the program that is written, the raw program that is yet to be converted. So they convert it to machine language. Alright, that is for the translators. Now another system software is the utility programs. The utility program. Utility programs. And in utility programs, you have, these are programs that see to the day-to-day smooth running of the computer system. That is their job. They just make sure that things move the way it should go in the computer system. You have the debuggers. You have the antivirus is there. You also have the disk cleaners and all that. So their job is to make sure that the computer is running smoothly. Someone might be wondering, why is it that when you shut down your computer system today and come back tomorrow or next week, the computer will not miss one day in its date? The date will still be correct. These are some of the things that the utility programs do. You also have a program that is called the drivers for the output and input devices. Okay, so that is for system software. Remember, in system software, we have said system software is a set of programs or instructions that controls the functionality of the computer and as well creates a platform for other application packages to run. Let's now look at what we mean by application package or application software. Application software. Let's look at this application software. Application software are programs that enable the computer do a specific job for the user. Or you can say application package is a set of program or a set of instructions that enables the user perform a specific function using the computer. Now that reminds me, sometimes my students will define would define software as a program, system software as a program that controls the user, that tells the user what to do. Please, the software doesn't control the user, rather it controls the computer. Alright, so the application program enables the user to do a specific job with the computer. Now the application package can be divided into user application program, user application program, and application packages. Yes, user application program and application packages. Now, user application programs are programs that are designed specifically for a user or for an organization that is suitable only for them. For example, here there are some universities that have programs designed for them, either to enable them register their students or to enable them maybe register courses which another university cannot use. If another university wants such program, it will also be designed according to their test. No other person can use it. That is user application program. Now, when you have these application packages, they are application software in the market that anyone can use to do certain function. But here still, these application packages are divided into two again. You have the specific applications and you have the general purpose application. The specific applications are application programs that are applied to a specific aspect, in a specific aspect of life. That is, in a particular field of life. For example, there is an application package that is used for payroll. There is an application package that is used for statistics, like the SPSS. There is an application package that is used for maybe by the engineers alone. It's designed for that field. Now, the other one, the general purpose application package. That is where the word processing programs come in. The word processors, the spreadsheets, you have the graphics package, etc. You also have the presentation packages and others. They fall under general purpose application. General purpose application. Okay? So this is how the application packages are classified. So students, I know that you, from now onwards, you'll be able to define software. Remember, we said the software is a set of programs or a set of instructions that when executed tells the computer what to do. You can as well classify software into system and application software. You can as well describe system software and operating system, explaining or describing operating system, the translators and the utility programs with examples. And also you can mention functions of the operating system. You can as well give some features of the GUI operating system. Remember, I said the features include presence of icon, drop-down menus, and dialog boxes. Then you can also classify application programs into user application program and application packages. You can as well classify application packages into specific packages and general purpose packages. Now, before I go, I would want you to please, I don't like students cramming. Try to understand what we are talking about here so that when you want to answer, you can answer even in your own way, still meaning the same thing. Now, take note of these questions. What is computer software? Mention and explain the two major categories of computer software. I also want you to describe the system software. And finally, mention and explain or list and explain the features of GUI operating system. Please, I want you to make sure that you take note of GUI operating system, the features very well, because most times, even though it's simple, but exam bodies, they like asking that question. Thank you, and God bless you.